Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Q&A in our continuing Q&A series with me, Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me. He is gazing lovingly at the camera at you guys. It's NJ.
What's up?
And we are the British Fist, of course.
Gotcha.
Where the money is at, of course, right here, right now. Let's go and do this Q&A. But first, make sure you guys subscribe to us up above, like this video, and keep your comments below what you think of our questions, and keep sending your questions in as well.
And make sure you keep sending them in the link in the description box below.
Yeah, you can either do this through commenting below, YouTube inbox us, which is probably the best method of doing it, or get us on our Facebook at BritishFist.com, Facebook.com/BritishFist, where you can post comments on our on our wall, giving us some questions. So that's how you get in contact with us, as NJ said earlier. Right. Shall we start? We have a bunch of questions from the Jackson 916. We have 7 questions which we need to answer. So should we get those done first?
Let's go.
Right then, let's go. When do you think we'll have the first ever Money in the Bank winner lose their match when they cash in? I don't think they should ever do it, to be honest, because the whole point of Money in the Bank is to raise new stars. And if you're going to make a guy lose, it's really not doing nothing for them.
Well, when I look at it, first one we thought would be The Miz.
And it really did look like they were going to do it, but I'm glad they didn't, because look at his title run and how well
That's
that was.
very true. And the only way I'll do it is like, we've had like Edge win it numerous times, CM Punk win numerous times. I think if someone's already won it before, maybe they should do a surprise and have that person lose when they cash it in.
I also think a guy like Daniel Bryan has got a good chance of losing it, just because a guy like Daniel Bryan will cash it in honestly. You'll cash it in like RVD did at a Raw Night Stand at WrestleMania, and have like a good 20-30 minute match with a guy in which you could lose. And that's an honest cash in and a realistic way of losing, because you're in a match, you can win or lose either way. So that could possibly happen to someone like a face. It's more of a face than a heel that is going to happen to, in my opinion. But yeah, thank God Miz did win his Money in the Bank and cash it in on Autumn.
And I'm saying, now we've got Alberto, do not make him lose it, because he's been waiting for this championship since WrestleMania.
And it's a great way of getting it on him. So make sure you don't make him lose it, WWE, please. The next question he sent us was, when do you think Sheamus will win another world title?
Well, he's definitely getting involved on SmackDown in the main event, so it could happen. I
don't think he'll get past Orton or Christian, in my opinion. I think they're going to carry on with that rivalry. If they're going to do what we think they might do and make Sheamus face, then he's going to be stuck behind Orton the whole time.
Again, Orton's been trying to show signs of heel, but it's not working.
No.
So I think even with that, yes, he would be trapped behind Orton, but when do you think he'll be?
Next year, maybe?
I think he will get it again, but just not anytime soon.
And this time, when he does get it, make him look like a legitimate champion. Actually give him a couple of months rather than these other shit title reigns you've given him. I don't know. Do you see Ted DiBiase rising up as a future star anytime soon? Well, with this whole Cody Rhodes and Ted DiBiase thing coming, it seems like they're going to go down that Miz and A-Ride route, where they're going to have a guy like Ted DiBiase turn on Cody Rhodes and maybe become face. So he might rise up, maybe not as a future star, but definitely as a possible mid-carder / upper mid-carder, when you consider that he's going to be a sort of a face like Alex Riley. Because remember how well that Alex Riley Miz thing worked.
That is true, and I'm thinking, when I look at Ted DiBiase, when he was in Legacy, I thought, well, there's a great heel there. But now, do I think, now as he's a face and he's been losing matches that he shouldn't have lost, it's kind of hard to see him actually rising. But I think, as Dan said, with this Cody Rhodes thing, I'm thinking if he does go down the route and turn on Cody Rhodes, it could be like a nut cracking, and he's actually starting a whole new face and a whole new
personality, which he needs, really, because let's face it, his heel personality and gimmick is hardly any good. Do you think Cena will hold the title until WrestleMania 28? If not, will he lose it and then win it back somewhere down the line? I fucking hope he doesn't go into WrestleMania 28. Do you want to know why I hope he doesn't go into WrestleMania 28 with the belt? Because you have Cena and Rock there as your main draw. You don't need to give that match a title. That is a match in itself. You can use other title matches. You can give other people the chance to go for the title rather than Cena again.
Well, let's just say if Cena does get it back, I'm saying it will, just like the CM Punk and Cena thing. We all heard that Punk might be leaving with the championship. I'm thinking if it does happen, it'd be just a reminiscing of that. Like, if The Rock win, would he take it out of WWE? So I think they won't go through that again.
No, I don't think they will either. No. They shouldn't do it. They should just leave it as a main draw, no titles involved. Just have it as a rivalry, develop it over time, Leave it like that. It doesn't need a title, does it?
No, it's been built up. It's been built up the whole year. I think the building up itself is worth the championship on it without it.
Yeah, definitely. After the Miz and Riley feud is over, where do you think Alex Riley will go? Mid-card or main event?
Well, my quick answer before Dan goes into his is he's got his mentor, his ex-mentor Miz, who's already involved in main events and that. And I think Alex Riley is a different version of him. So I'm thinking there's a chance, as he's already getting involved with like John Cena or that, there may be a chance he could be involved in the main event.
You say main event, I say mid-card. Simply because after he's just been introduced, he's been introduced in a very good way. He's now over as a face. I do believe though WWE need to take their time with Alex Riley, like they did with the Miz. Get him involved in the mid card first. Maybe make him win a mid card title so he can build himself up over time. And if you build yourself up over time slowly, it'll make it more believable when he gets into that main event and finally wins his first championship, just like Miz did.
As much as I agree with that, same time he's been involved with John Cena, so he's only downgraded to mid carders after he's been involved with Cena. He's been involved with people who are in the main event. I think it'd be kind of a downgrade for him.
Possibly, we'll have to see what they do there. Really, Alex Riley is a guy they can do a lot with. So
they could, yes.
Yep, never know. If you could see any of these tag teams / stables return in their prime, who would it be? This is an easy one: Evolution, DX, or Rated RKO. For us, it is
Evolution. Basically, because I want to go in the limo driving, helicopter riding. I want to be all around the women. You know what I'm saying?
I can see the line in the sand.
There we go.
Like, it was a great faction just because it made young stars. You had Triple H, as the leader. Ric Flair in there, who's a great manager type guy. It was just a great faction to have, and if I could return any faction, it would definitely be that, because it's one of those factions that can really dominate a Raw or a SmackDown.
That is very true, but taking nothing away from DX, that was another great, awesome group, entertaining, dominant.
Typical Attitude Era.
That is true, and we have Rated RKO. They were definitely, they both did good for each other, work together. So, but out of all of it would be Evolution.
Yeah, the great thing about that is it got Orton out of the World Heavyweight Championship picture as well.
It did, yes.
Into the tag team picture.
There we go.
The last question he sent us, Jackson, said, if you could hang out with any WWE superstar for the day, who would it be? He said he would hang out with The Miz. NJ, I'm going to go to you first on this one. I think I kind of know what you're going to say.
Well, just like the question before, I want to be involved in the limo driving, helicopter riding. I want to be around with all the money is that. I want to be involved with all the power. So I would say Triple H.
Yeah, and if you do that, you'll be in a lot of offices and wearing a lot of suits now, because he's actually sort of getting more involved in backstage, isn't he?
Yes, I have my own office as well.
Yep. Obviously, if you want to know who I'd love to hang around with, Kelly, just because she's fucking hot, and I'm not sure who I would actually hang around with, so I thought to myself, Kelly, because she's very hot, and I think I'd love to go shopping with her.
And hopefully help her in the title.
Yeah, well, yeah, what would I be, a manager or something?
That would be an idea.
If only WWE could make that happen, that would be my dream come true. Okay, on to the next question. It's from I Am Weird OK, who is also known as Marilyn, the Black Rose 1991 James Morehouse's girlfriend. She asks us, do you prefer Kane's singing theme song he used from 2002 to 2008 better than his current theme? I'm going to let NJ answer this.
Again, I've liked quite a lot of his themes. Not just because he's my favourite wrestler. It's not that. I have actually got his music at home and I'm listening to it quite a lot. But I like his Slow Chemical by Finger 11. And I'm just thinking, just an awesome song. Just an awesome song. His Darkness ones, it did suit his character well, but I quite like the Slow Chemical one.
Which was your favourite though? The one without singing or the one with singing?
The one with singing was quite interesting, yes.
Okay,
I like that.
Should we just move on there? Because I feel you're having a fit at the moment, deciding between those two.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think. So all of his themes, as I said before, great.
Yes, and as we all know, Kane, NJ loves Kane, so, great question there, Marilyn. The next question we have is from Habashmi, otherwise known as Joe Butler on Facebook, a good friend of ours on there, fellow Brit. He said, if you were in WWE, what finisher would you have, and what do you think is the most effective finisher, and which one do you think looks best? Well, should we address the first one first? Yeah. What finisher would you have?
Oh, there's been many finishes that I've done justice, but I'm going to say I quite like the pedigree, just because it can quickly be done.
Yeah, I'm a big fan. I was a big fan of the F5, just because it was a very powerful maneuver. It seemed very devastating as well. So I'm going to go with Brock Lesnar's F5, otherwise known as the TKO. What is the most effective finisher? Which one would cause the most pain?
Most pain?
450 splash.
That would be to abdominal area, but I'm gonna quite say. Oh God, there's so many finish up.
I know one, Mr. Socko, because that would choke you out and
That
it would
would
make you
choke.
sick.
There's sleeper holds. There's like bottom cup that could be damaged to the back.
Submission moves, I think.
Submission moves overall, yeah.
They're the most effective finishers in my opinion. And which one do you think looks best?
Looks best. Okay, when we look at it, thinking, wow, that's amazing. It'll be like, is it just like flips from the top rope?
Yeah, like 450 splashes and moonsaults and stuff.
Yeah, they just sort of feel like the amount of times you can spin up in the air.
I still think the RKO looks as a very good finisher, just how it's executed. I know it's a diamond cutter essentially, or a cutter, but I still think the RKO is executed very well, and I do like the way that move is done, even though I don't like the guy that does it.
No.
There's others though, like Rock Bomb, Stone Cold Stunner. They all look brilliant in my opinion.
Yeah.
The next question we have is from Ashley, and she says to us, if you could make your Ultimate Survivor Series team, who would be on it? I'm guessing this is what we're going to do here is pretty much 5-on-5, 5 faces, 5 heels. We're going to try and combine old school wrestlers and some new school wrestlers and some favourites of ours as well. So we'll start off with the face team. I think the obvious 2 here would be from the Attitude Era, Rock and Austin, because they were the 2 major baby faces of the Attitude Era. They should definitely be on this team.
That's true. We'll keep them away from being heels. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't let Austin be a fucking heel or Rock. No. And then we'd have 2 old school guys in Macho Man Randy Savage, because we know he was a very accomplished wrestler, and Hulk Hogan, just because he was a fantastic draw for the company. 2 old school guys you have to have on the face team, in my opinion. 2 biggest faces of the Golden Era.
Of course, they need to be involved, because you know Hogan's always going to be involved in the main event.
Yeah, true. And we would not have Warrior. Instead of Warrior, we would have a guy that can actually wrestle and can actually sell. HBK Shawn Michaels would be as my 5th pick on this face team, just because he's a great wrestler. You know he's going to do.
And again, not just because he's the icon, but he's great at main events. He can put on great matches.
Yeah, he definitely deserves a spot on the Ultimate Survivor Series team.
He does.
Now let's go on to the heels. I'll start off with you, NJ.
Okay, we're starting off with the one that's always gets himself into the main events, Triple H.
Yep.
And then he'll be working still with Ric Flair, because they did great together, so I'd have him still with him. And then we'd have an old classic.
2 old school wrestlers. Yep.
Mr. Perfect and Ted DiBiase.
Do you know why I would use these 2? Just because I think Mr. Perfect, again, and Ted DiBiase were fantastic heels, and they were done in a time where heels didn't really get much of a chance in the main event. They were always, they were always jobbing to baby faces. And I do think these 2 guys, along with guys like Owen Hart, Andre the Giant, Rick Rude, were really underrated. I think those 2 definitely deserve a spot on the Ultimate Survivor Series team, in my opinion.
That is very true. And I'm just saying, the reason we picked the last one is my reason is because, again, I think
we need
he needs to be in the main event. He does not need to be down below in stupid factions and stuff.
Yeah.
He needs to be involved in main events, and that is none other than CM Punk.
Yeah, and we really wanted to get some more new school guys in there. There wasn't really many we could choose from. Singer and Orton we didn't really want to put on the face team. In terms of heels, Punk is a great heel and a great wrestler. Definitely deserving of a Survivor Series team. He could probably, in this future life, become a total legend. So
he could. And I think, again, the amount of wrestlers we've got in this, I think it would be one hell of a great match if it was to happen. Yeah,
of course. The next question we have is from Y0J0E36. God, very complicated name. Those are numbers and letters. And he asks us, or she, we don't know, what was your favourite moment in the WCW ECW Alliance storyline back in 2001? Your favourite moment?
I think it was just when Austin turned on the WWE.
Ooh.
It was just really interesting, unexpected, and I just think, even though he's better off as a face, it was just him going really angry and furious and just did his part.
And the Alliance needed him because they didn't really have many main event guys in there.
No, so there we go.
My favourite moment was the first night it actually happened. I can't remember exactly what happened, but when you first saw that WCW were invading WWE, you were marking out because you were thinking, oh my god, the 2 biggest companies at the time were going to be going head to head, even though it wasn't that like that as it was done. Obviously, we know they were done a kind of a bunch of jobbers. But it's just when that first moment came in, it was a bit of nostalgia, and it was just like, wow, this is actually going to happen. Which is why, for me, it's probably my best, even though it's my best moment of this storyline. Even though I didn't like it that much, I wanted it to fucking end.
That is going to be our overall favourite when it finished.
When it fucking finished, when WWF at the time just won, and Jim Ross ripped the shit out of Paul Heyman. That was fucking hilarious. God, fuck off, Paul Heyman. The next question we got is from Ali Boy 65. Ooh, nice. He said, "Hi British Fist, I'm an English guy as well. Well done. Are you a big fan of Wade Barrett like I am? Yes. Do you think he deserves to win the SmackDown Money in the Bank like I do? Not just saying this because I'm biased and want Wade to represent us as the first, and he wants him to represent us as the first English World Champion. I wanted him to win Money in the Bank. He didn't, though. But I wanted him to win.
A great choice, but then at the same time, back then, I said we need a surprise at the pay-per-view, and that's what we got. So it's a shame for Wade Barrett, but we needed that surprise.
Yeah, because I really wanted him to win, just because I think he's the kind of guy that can carry it, in my opinion. So for me, Wade Barrett, could have been good, but I don't think WWE have used him well enough to be a main event guy, which is why I think that they might have gone with Daniel Bryan instead. As they can go with this whole, he's going to cash it in at WrestleMania whole gimmick that he's got. That's
true, but let's just say Wade Barrett's going to get his shot sooner or later.
Yep, and NJ, do you want to do one more, or do you rather wrap up here?
Let's do one more.
We're always not doing questions. Why did I even ask that? The last question we have comes from another guy with a complicated name, SDBXNBBL91. I'll say that again for you guys up there. SDBXNBBL91. And he asks us, am I the only one that hates Hulk Hogan? He's everything Alex Riley isn't. He's got a terrible move list and he's obnoxious on the mic. Bret Hart fucked the world. So we've got a Bret Hart mark there, and an Off the Road Show mark there, and an Alex Riley mark there. So let's answer the question. Hater. And a Hogan hater. Wow, so we'd get along so well.
Straight away, Hogan, yes. Again, it was a big draw. We'll give him that.
Back in the 80s and 90s.
There we go. Yep. And then I just think,
he needs to fuck off.
Yeah, basically.
He's irrelevant now. There's not. I mean, he's on TNA. He's irrelevant. When he came back to WWE, he was a decent draw because everyone was reliving Hulkamania again. But now he's just so irrelevant. I don't know what the fuck they're doing. So I just hate him mainly because of that. The fact that he's always trying to get himself in the wrestling business somehow, and the fact that he never sold, and it's just all sorts of stuff. His wrestling wasn't very good either. So
no, sadly it was not. No.
I've never been a fan of a wrestler who isn't very good, which is why I don't like Cena and Orton. Also, do you have any more thoughts on that before we move on to the next question?
I'm kind of glad that he's finished in the WWE now and they're just moving on without him now.
Yeah, at least TNA get that thing. But anyway,
there we
go. He also asked us, why do you think the stars of the independent scene aren't showcased properly in the WWE like CM Punk and Justin Gabriel? It seems wrong that I groan every time Bryan Danielson's music plays because I know he's going to be doing the 5 most basic moves on his moveset. One thing I will say here is WWE deliberately water down their superstars. It's mainly so that they can wrestle more and they can wrestle longer, and it just helps their career, which is kind of good for us because it means we see guys for longer. It means that obviously people don't die or get serious injuries as much.
Well, I see why it's a shame because you want them to put their body on. You want them to do fast and strong moves. So I see why it's a shame.
When you see guys like Daniel Bryan or Bryan Danielson and CM Punk in ROH and you see him in WWE, you just wonder where their moveset's gone because you see him in ROH and you see him do all this great shit and you think, and when you're an indie fan, you're thinking, well, I'm going to see this on WWE. This is going to be fantastic. But they water them down. And I can understand people's frustration, but at the end of the day, you need to keep your roster fit. You need to keep your roster healthy, and this is probably one of the only way WWE can really do it.
Well, we'll say, for your example, Daniel Bryan, they are actually trying with him because they're giving different submission moves in matches. They're actually trying to make the moves that's better for the rest that you've just named. Yeah.
Yep, and that is another Q&A done, MJ.
It is.
For us now, 18 minutes of us answering questions. We hope you guys enjoy this because we definitely enjoy doing these videos. Make sure you keep sending your questions in via the comment section below, YouTube inboxing us, or contacting us on facebook.com/British Fist. Send in your questions.
The thing is, we've enjoyed answering questions. As you've seen, we're on our 11th Q&A.
Yeah, keep them coming.
We've really enjoyed it, or we wouldn't be doing this. And we're asking for more, so we can continue doing this and giving our thoughts, as well as hearing yours in the comment section below.
Well done. Good plug there, NJ. That's it from us, the British Fist. Shall we do this again, NJ?
Ka-ching!
And do what the YouTubers want you to do now, right here, right now.
What's up?
Hey, that's it from us, the British Fist. Thank you very much, guys, once again for watching. Keep sending your questions in, commenting below, subscribing above, liking this video, and that just leaves me to say goodbye.